Welcome back guys, you are watching Techtitude on YouTube and we are gonna be doing a camera sample test for the Xiaomi MiA1 today. So let's roll. Before we get into the camera sample test, let me give you a brief overview of the phone. Starting off with the specifications, the phone has a 5.5-inch Full HD screen powered by a Snapdragon 625 coupled with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of onboard storage. Powering all of this is a 3080 mAh battery. The phone houses a dual camera setup on its rear and it's capable of taking 4K videos at 30 fps. The primary camera lens is a 12 megapixel and the secondary one is another 12 megapixel with a telephoto lens. On the front, the phone has a 5 megapixel camera that is capable of shooting 1080p videos. The phone has a Type-C port but lacks fast charging capabilities. It also houses a hybrid dual nano SIM slot. The phone runs on Android 7.0 Nougat out of the box and has been updated to Android 7.1.2 recently. And this has been possible due to the phone being affiliated to the Android One program. The Android One program, you ask? Well, it is an initiative by Google to enable mid-range smartphones to use the Android Pure Vanilla experience and be easily upgradable to the latest software updates which is supported by Google themselves. A quick shout out to my friend Ravi Rao, who was willing enough to share the photos and videos from his MiA1 for this video. So with all that aside, let's move on to the camera sample test now. Photos taken in good amount of daylight come out pretty well, as is expected with smartphones these days. And they have a good amount of detail and color reproduction in them as well. This monochromatic shot looks like it belongs to an art gallery. The portrait mode, while not as good enough as the iPhones or the OnePlus phones, is still good enough for this price range. And they give a good amount of background blur by separating the subject from the background. Although it struggles to do the same in low light and the photos come out a bit messy. While talking about low light shots, the photos come out decent enough with good amount of artificial lighting and minimum noise. But as you'd expect, the phone struggles with focus and shutter speeds and also loses a great amount of detail on buildings and objects in the photos. The front-facing camera produces decent photos with good amount of light and a wide-angle lens to get more people into the shot. It also manages to retain most of the details in low-light shots, well under artificial lighting that is. Lack of optical image stabilization or any electronic image stabilization is quickly evident when we move to video samples from the phone. The video is being taken by walking at a very brisk pace on the rooftop, and still the footage shakes a lot. However, the camera is quick to focus on objects and also is able to adapt to the changing exposure over the time. The front camera is again good in capturing the exposure and the changing exposure over time, and also captures a lot of details while moving around in the area. One thing to note here is that the front camera is doing a fairly good job to stabilize the footage whenever moving around, whereas the rear camera struggles to do so. So wrapping up the camera review here for the MiA1, it has a good set of cameras both at the rear and on the front. While the rear cameras do struggle to stabilize the video footage from the rear camera, they take a good amount of detail in daylight photos as well as artificial low lighting. And the portrait photos, as mentioned earlier, are good amount for this price range. The front camera takes in a good amount of detail in all of the photos in good daylight. And for those who do not like so much detail in the selfies, they can use the beautification mode on the phone's camera app. Hope you liked the video, and if you did, please hit the like button below. Subscribe to my channel if you already haven't, and hit the bell icon just beside the subscribe button so you get notified when. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.